We're never doing that again.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep, baby. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 68 of the Good Point Bro podcast. My name is Kane. This is my little bro Cam.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep, baby. A ton going on in the sports world, as you guys know.
Psych.
Not at all.
The only thing that's going on is ESPN's firing everybody.
Yeah, ESPN fired everybody, and First Take's not even on because they'd rather play tennis.
But Windhorse is still there.
Yeah.
Brian Windhorse. You know why? Because he followed LeBron for 20 years, and he knows everything about LeBron. So anybody
Can't
that
lose him.
covers LeBron is safe.
It's true.
Because that's ESPN.
It's true. All right, let's get into our first topic. Are the Warriors being too loyal to their big three?
Maybe a little bit, and I'll tell you why. During the Bulls dynasty, they lost Horace Grant, and then they got Dennis Rodman. Now, they kept Michael and Scotty, but I could see them, like, they don't have to be loyal to Clay. I think they need to keep Draymond under any circumstance because he's just their engine that makes them, makes their defense one of the best in the league. He's so good for Steph on pick and rolls, whatever. He makes Steph that much better. I think that Clay's kind of washed up. I mean, in game 6, what did he shoot? Like,
No, I get it. He's
2 for 19.
He only showed
That
flashes.
can't
I get it.
Flashes, but that's not flashes don't win you championships.
But the difference to me between Horace Grant and Clay is, one, Horace was still relevant. He's still good. He did well in the Magic after that. But
1 year.
what I was gonna say
couple years.
is Horace wanted out. He wanted to have his own team and be his own thing. Clay does not.
Well, Jordan left, and then Horace left. But yeah, they.
I'm
had
saying
some
he
bad-
wanted out.
He didn't think that he was getting the proper respect of like being the big three. They looked at them more as like a Michael and Scotty duo than Horace Grant big three.
Yeah,
And that's why Dennis Rodman was the perfect character because dude did not care whatsoever.
yeah.
And he bought into his role more than anybody we've ever seen in sports history.
No, he did.
Like, he didn't score. He just rebounded
clack,
and played
boom.
defense,
Clack,
guarded the best player. You go
clack,
here.
clack, boom.
Here, go here.
Clack, here.
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT, honestly.
Yeah, he is cool.
And that
But I just don't think they need to keep Clay. I don't really know. He's not even like.
I mean,
think
I
about
get where you're
prime.
coming
Think
from.
about prime Clay, top 2 shooter in the league. Yeah, top
In the
2
league.
shooter in the league, second behind Steph, and an elite defender. People forget about Clay. He was one of the best defenders.
He was
One of the
best wing
He was a
defenders in the
top 5.
wing defender.
No, he was a top 5. What's that word that you use?
Off ball?
Two-way player
Oh,
in the NBA.
two-way.
He was a top 5 two-way player in the NBA. In his prime, averaged 22 a game on probably freaking 10 shots and never dribbled the basketball. You can't replace that. Now he's not the defender he was, and he's not the shooter he was.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to keep getting injured too. Because you can't tear your Achilles and your ACL and not have nagging injuries. There's just no way. I mean, look at Kevin Durant after he tore his Achilles. He's got leg problems every single season. He's going to miss 25 games. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
I don't think that they need Clay anymore.
No, I get that. So maybe they are being too loyal. But you were going to say no originally.
I think they could keep Clay if he was on a pay cut, but dude's making $41 million. That's way too much. Way
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
What if like, let's say they lost Clay but got Brooke Lopez, that they're better. 100%.
What about if you lose Clay and keep Jordan Poole?
I don't know.
Like, what if you had traded
That-
Clay for CP3?
I think that after the Draymond incident, Jordan Poole just had to go. So I don't know how
We'll get into that in a
could have
minute.
been. Yeah.
All right, we're a little bit late on this one. But who's actually better prime, Dwight Howard or Nikola Jokic?
Jokic.
Because you saw that stuff about Dwight
Yeah.
Howard.
I don't think it's as crazy as people think. Think about this. Dwight Howard was the best defender in the league. He's a 3-time defensive player of the year. And he's arguably the most athletic center to ever play the game. Also, when he was in his prime, the league was not all about shooting threes. So let's just say we put Jokic in that era. I don't know who's better. I don't know. Because Dwight Howard was that good for that era of basketball. I mean, he led the Magic to the finals and then ran against Kobe and Pau Gasol. Not a lot of teams are beating them. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic obviously is a unicorn. I think we're a little too much recency bias on Jokic. A little too much. He had a great playoff run, but that happens. Think about Dirk.
Yeah.
Had that one great playoff run. He's like a top 30 player. I mean, I don't know if now he's only 28, but I'm not just gonna guarantee that Jokic is gonna win like 4 chips.
So,
But I'm definitely going Jokic.
okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't like when people disrespect it. Like this isn't even close. You have to give context to it about the era they played and how great of a defender Dwight Howard is. I'm not saying Jokic is a bad defender, but he's not a great defender, not even a good defender. He's just a big body.
Yeah.
But so
No, I agree with that. I don't even have anything to comment on that, to be honest with you. So we're going to move on. All right. This is something Cameron doesn't know about this subject yet, but we're going to talk about a little bit about the home run derby. Specifically, though, this, bro. And I want to get your reaction to this. Sorry, guys, that you're not going to be able to see this. But if you guys didn't know, Vladdy Jr. won the home run derby yesterday.
of course.
This is one of his balls he hit, right?
The home run derby.
So he just hit a line drive.
Oh. Oh my! Did I hit him in the head?
Yeah.
Is he in the hospital?
So Vladdy Jr. won the home run derby.
I can't believe they still have kids out in the outfield when they hit the ball 130 miles an hour.
So that's
Like,
what I was about to say.
insane.
That's what I was about to say. So Vladdy Jr. won the home run derby. Right after hitting a home run, he hits a line drive into the outfield at 115.8 miles per hour. And it smokes that kid in the face.
These 12-year-old kids, they just started kid pitch. They can't. There's no way they can handle a 115-mile-an-hour fastball coming straight at their face. I don't even know why they do that. There should be like a limit. You got to be like 15 at least and have like
I gotta watch that
6
again.
years of baseball experience or something. Because this is. I mean,
There you go.
he got. Did they say anything?
No, but look at all the kids' reaction around him.
It was like, oh.
So apparently, sorry that we're laughing. If you guys don't know, he's fine. Okay, he had a black eye, and I think it cut him a little bit, but no fractures in his face or anything like that. Dude's lucky, to be honest.
Yeah, he's super lucky. 150-mile-an-hour baseball.
From
Especially
Vladdy.
because if you ever seen if you ever held a Major League Baseball, they're way tighter than like
dense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much harder than
Vladdy.
normal baseball or high school baseball.
Vladdy got a hold
It's
of
like
that one,
Yeah.
and that kid held that.
Vladdy is maybe the best home run.
He's built for
contestant
the home
ever.
run derby.
Yeah, there's nobody more
he's built for it.
I don't know if you remember when he
Adley Rutschman.
his rookie year he was in the
Yeah.
home run derby and he hit like 35 and it's just effortless.
Yeah.
If you watch him hit, it's one of the there was like a video that went viral of his batting practice of him it's like the ball disappears. It's like one of the coolest things ever where he's just taking BP.
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
just
yeah, there's
homer
like
after
a
homer
fog out
after
there.
homer.
Come on,
He was in
the
Toronto.
Oh, I thought
He was in
summer.
Toronto. Yeah, he's gonna be great.
Next up, a little bit late on this one too. If you guys have kept up with the Jordan Poole Golden State Warriors trade, you guys have seen Jordan Poole now taking pictures with the team, interviews, all that stuff, and dude looks dead inside.
Well, I mean, think about this. If you're Jordan Poole, you're a super young guy, just won a championship, just got $110 million. You get punched in the face by Draymond Green. Not just a normal punch, a Superman punch. And you leave that team and get traded to the wasteland of the NBA. You were on such a high. And then now you're just a normal guy on the Wizards that's going to average 18 meaningless points a game. I mean, that sucks. And he's locked in. That's the thing. He just got locked in by the Warriors. So he has what, like 4 years he has to honor with the Wizards or three? So like he's locked up there. It's not like a 1 year thing.
What was an extension? So I don't know.
Maybe like another contender will try to trade for him later in the season. You never know. Like the Bucks, someone like that, maybe just trying to get another scorer. Try to get him, but I don't know, man. I think honestly for him it's a perfect fit. It seems like he likes a lot of attention. He's gonna have the ball a lot, be able to create his own shots. Because with his game, he's gonna have to dribble a lot.
I don't know, man.
I
Went from the third
he's gonna have
splash,
fun.
bro, to Kyle Kuzma's duo.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
that's rough. That's super rough. Because Kyle Kuzma re-signed there, I'm pretty sure.
Kyle Kuzma loves it there. He hits
does?
as many shots. I mean, he seems like it.
Yeah.
He literally re-signed there.
Yeah, I mean,
He could help a contender. Like, he's, what, an 18-point a game, like,
Yeah,
smooth
maybe.
score.
Yeah.
And he's big, too. He's like
For them.
6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, he's got some
So
size for sure.
He's definitely a plus player if you add him. Like I would take if I was the Lakers, I'd take him back.
Solid defender.
I wish that he didn't leave the Lakers or the Lakers didn't give him up.
There was a lot of trade deals for him.
Think about that, and
with
they
LA.
traded KCP. That was stupid. KCP is a
KCP.
straight dog.
Yeah, KCP can play.
Like if you take KCP off the Nuggets in that conference finals and put him in the Lakers win that conference finals. I
You're
truly
talking about the
believe that.
2023?
Yeah. If you take KCP off them and put him on the Lakers, I think the Lakers win that conference finals. Think about it. It was only a 21-point difference or 24.
But
in
do
the
they
sweep.
win?
It was the closest
I don't know if
sweep
they
of all
win.
time. It's at least going 6 or 7. For sure. KCP hit timely shot
Let's
after
see.
timely shot.
They probably win
For
game
them.
1,
Who?
the Lakers,
Maybe.
if they still have that comeback.
KCP
And KCP was
played
a
great.
huge part of why they got the lead in the
Yeah.
first place.
He hit like
And
4 straight
then-
threes.
They lose game 2 still.
No, they should have won game 2.
But Jamal Murray
was
went
going
crazy. So let's say they lose game 2 still. Game 3, they lose. Game 4, they probably win.
And then it's up for
And then
grabs
it's a
there.
3-game series.
Whoever wins game 5 probably wins.
All right. Rookie of the year. Way too early predictions, right? All right, so we got Chet or Wemby. Rookie of the year.
Wemby.
You got Wemby?
Because you know why?
Why?
They're going to try to find every single excuse to give that man Rookie of the Year. Because they want to promote him.
No,
It's
that,
like
that
a
could be true.
It's like a LeBron Melo type thing. If you remember, Carmelo had a great rookie year in 2004. And it's pretty arguable that he should have won it. But there was no freaking way they were going to take that Rookie of the Year from LeBron. No shot. And I think that's going to be the same case for Victor Wembanyama. Because they're going to want to promote
I can see
him,
that.
get him in this
I
spotlight.
was going to say,
Even like a guy like Ben Simmons.
give me Chet for Rookie of the year. He's put on some size. Didn't get to play last year. Is learning the OKC system. The OKC is a pretty competent team with guards that can get him the ball.
Yeah.
Wemby doesn't really
They're gonna
have
be
guys like
good,
that.
Dude.
So I
OKC's
think
gonna
the
be
Thunder
good.
could actually make some noise and Chet along with
Watch
it.
out for OKC this year. It could be a top 6 seed for sure. Shea Gillis, Chet, and then that one other guy, I forget, who's really good.
Oh, the white guy?
Yeah. young
Dang,
guy.
dude. What is that?
He's solid.
Yeah, he's super solid. He has like brown hair. That white dude. Yeah, it starts with Gibby.
I don't know.
Something like that. Dang, man. That's really bothering me. All right. Everyone thought it was a bad thing when Kevin Durant left the Thunder and went to the Warriors. But overall for his career, I think it's worse that he left the Warriors and went to the Nets. Agree or disagree?
I think nobody cared that he left the Thunder. It was where he went to. You can't go to the team that you had down 3-1. You lose that lead, and then you join them, who just won 73 games. That's what people had an issue with. You spent your first 7 years in OKC, in the middle of Oklahoma, in the middle of nowhere. That's fine, but it's where you went to. It's not that he left. It's just where he went.
No. I'm not saying
problem.
like the people's problem. I'm just saying it's worse for his career.
I think that if he just won one with OKC, he'd have a better legacy than than the 2 at Golden State. Now, eventually, if Golden State would have kept winning and winning and winning, he had like 4 or 5, then yeah. But I mean, I think that it's worse for his legacy that he left OKC just because of where he went when he left. Like if he left the Warriors and had a title, dude, he'd be a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah,
Probably unanimously around people.
No, I can see that. And I was actually just thinking as you were talking, that combined with what we were just talking about, the OKC Thunder, they actually have like pretty good front office if you think about it.
They had a
Because
great
they
team
had-
around him. They had a great team.
It's Giddey, Josh Giddey.
Yeah,
not
Josh
Gibby.
Giddey. They had a great team.
But yeah, so they have Serge Ibaka.
In
like-
his
like
prime
the
was
Thunder-
a top 10
the
player in
Thunder-
NBA.
The Thunder had the short end of the stick over the last couple of years or the last couple of decades, I guess, 2010s to now. So over the last 15 years, let's say, the Thunder have received the short end of the stick. Because, I mean, their front office is good. Like, you get Serge Ibaka, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. All of them leave eventually.
Yeah.
Now you have Josh Giddey, SGA, Chet Holmgren. So, like, I'm not saying that these guys are going to be anywhere near as good as KD, Serge, James Harden, and Russ, but to be able to build a team like that just 5 years out, like, think about how terrible the Hornets have been forever. or how hard it is for the Wizards to get talent.
Just think about
So, like, OKC, they can build teams because they're a small market team.
Yeah.
So, to be able to put these names together.
And think about how
impressive.
quickly they did it.
But that's what I mean. In just like a 5-year span.
And they were just smart with it. And now they look like one of the most promising teams in the NBA when
SGA,
everybody was clowning them.
They got with the Paul George trade.
Yeah, and then they got a bunch of picks for trading Chris Paul to OKC. Or, I mean, not to OKC.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of picks for trading Westbrook for CP3.
Yeah,
that's
what you mean. Yeah.
And then they got a bunch of picks for that. But, yeah, they played it smart for sure. And all those guys are under, like, 24 years old. Or SGA might be 24, but they look promising for sure.
SGA he averaged 31.5 and 5.5, and he's exactly 24.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Josh Giddey averaged 17, 8, and 6 off 48% shooting. That's solid, dude.
Yeah, that's super solid. How old is he?
That's what I was trying to figure out. He is... Why does nobody have his... Maybe, like, if you're from overseas, they don't even know when your birthday is. He's 20.
Wow. That's really young. And then Chet's like 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they look super good.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a fun team to watch, too.
Yeah, they are. Young teams like that are usually fun to watch.
Yeah.
Young teams with potential. And that actually really reminds me.
It's too bad that they're in the West, because if they're in the East, because the East is so top-heavy, they would have definitely made the playoffs. But I don't know how they're going to do in the West. Just because the West is so stacked as far as, like, there's not an overwhelming favorite.
Yeah.
But there's just so many good teams that it's going to be the same situation, I think, this year as last year, where the 5th seed to the 10th seed is all 3 games apart. So you just got to be able to close the season out, or else you're not going to make the playoffs. Or you'll be in the play-in, and then who knows.
Yeah, I agree. And that actually kind of reminds me is there's something in sports, especially among fan bases, when a player comes up from nothing and becomes that top-tier player at your organization versus when you already trade for them after they're an established all-star. There's a big difference in, like, how you see the player. So, like, you know
why? It just feels like
Aaron Judge on the Yankees, or like even LeBron in Cleveland at first. Like, when LeBron loses to the Celtics in 2010 or 2009, he's going to receive more grace than when he goes to the Miami Heat and loses against the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Regardless of players
around him. Or
around
you'll receive more praise when you win 6 with the same team like Jordan did, or Kobe with the same team.
Yeah.
He won 5 with the Lakers.
So I guess the question is, fan bases really value guys coming up through their organization and then getting good rather than them being traded there. So how much do you value that in terms of overall greatness of a player?
I just think that...
Because my point is, it's almost harder to leave and then still maintain that level of greatness. That's my point.
What I'm
because
saying
you're under
it's
more scrutiny.
It was almost cooler that LeBron left Cleveland and then came back and won. That's like that's got to be one of the coolest.
I mean, that part that he came back and won.
More dramatic, and the storyline was better that he left. Then they accepted him again. He learned how to win in Miami, and then he won a title there. That made it for one of the coolest stories in NBA history.
I can see
if
that.
he would have won one there, like, it would have been super cool and all. And they haven't won anything in forever. Like, it would have been like 48 years. But him leaving, everybody hating him coming back, everybody loving him, and like they're like, hey, we're going to win a title now. Then he goes back the first year against the Warriors. They're like, okay, we still got a shot. Kyrie and Kevin Love goes down. They still take him to 6 games. And then the next year, they're like, oh, we're down 3-1. We might never win a title with this dude. All the stakes are on the line. You playing a 73-win team. You come back and win. That just made it for the most dramatic ending possible.
It is dramatic. I agree.
That's why it was the best, because it was like the most earned. Like, you know how when you're watching a movie and the whole build-up and you get the last 20 minutes and everything is just earned? It was like that. There wasn't a more earned moment in NBA history than Cleveland winning the title in 2016. No fans earned that more than Cleveland fans.
No, I can agree that it was as far as the drama of it, but I do think it would be better for LeBron's career had he won 4 in Cleveland and never won anywhere else. Had he been year 20 in Cleveland, 4 titles.
I don't think so.
Still beating the 73-9 Warriors.
Not for me. It wouldn't have been better. If he would have won 3 in Cleveland and then 1 in L.A. or something, I don't know. But I feel like him team hopping, and it made the argument where, like, no other player in NBA history has that much success leaving a team, and like being able to
Starting
figure out how to
something new.
still win titles.
Yeah.
And also it creates the argument where if he leaves your franchise, then you're a lottery team. Like they went from 60 wins to 16 wins. The Miami Heat, hit their first year, they didn't have LeBron. They didn't make the playoffs. And then the Lakers were the laughing stock of the 2010s until he went there. Also, look at these players. Dwayne Wade without LeBron won that title in 2006. After that, he was out in the first round every year. Kyrie's won 2 playoff series without LeBron, never made it to a conference finals. And AD's won 1 playoff series without LeBron. So it creates just all those arguments for LeBron being the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it helped him.
Yeah, I can
'Cause
see what you mean.
It gave him a different argument than Jordan. You're not going to beat Jordan at its own game. At his own game.
Well, that's
You're
what I was
not gonna
about to say is
You're not going to win 6 at a franchise. So
Jordan has the LeBron has it. Okay, I'll put it this way. To me personally, there are 3 different arguments for GOATs. There's Kareem, Jordan, and LeBron. Kareem has an in-depth argument if you want to go into all-around basketball player at any level. He has a GOAT argument. If that's your basis.
He has the GOAT argument of just career. His career is
That's what I mean.
best. Yeah. It didn't sound like you were just saying just all around.
All around,
player.
I mean, high school, college,
Yeah.
all around, like, levels, every level.
Every level he played, he dominated.
LeBron has a GOAT argument, but to me, the easiest argument to make for a GOAT is Jordan. It's the easiest argument. You don't have to go too far into this stat or this stat. It's 10 scoring titles, 10-time all-defense, 6 titles, 2 three-peats out of 3 in NBA history, and was stayed on the same team his whole career, outside of the Wizards.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, because that's just easy pop-out stats. And then I could just say, well, LeBron averages more rebounds, assists, shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3, shoots a better overall field goal percentage. And just like in those basic stats, LeBron beats Jordan. Also, I could say he has a better, career points, assists, blows him out of the water in any career stats. But you just got to have context with that. So it's the easiest one to make if you're just making like accomplishments mixed with just pure dominance. But I'm saying that LeBron, there's easy arguments to make for LeBron too that might not really make sense if you actually give context to it. Like another thing that you got to think about is in 2013, he was 1 vote away from the unanimous MVP. That one guy voted for Carmelo. So then LeBron would have been the first unanimous MVP. And that same year, Mark Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year and wasn't even first team all defense. So obviously LeBron should have been not first team, but Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And didn't get that. So if you just I don't care that Jordan won a Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron's should have had one and is a more versatile defender. And to me, a better defender than Jordan was. Also, we always talk about like this. Steph Curry in his unanimous MVP year led the league in steals. Is Steph Curry a great defender? No, he was a team defender. Jordan was part of the greatest defensive team of all time. He had Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, Ron Harper. Those are all elite, great NBA defenders.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, so that's why he had so many steals. He was a good on-ball defender, but it's not like he wasn't playing with the best defender ever, arguably Scottie Pippen, and then another best defender, arguably Dennis Rodman. Yeah, and then one of the best defensive point guards ever, Ron Harper.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pivot a little bit, and I'm going to talk about 2K because I actually just saw this. I want your opinion on it. But it might be the biggest robbery in all of 2K that Jamal Murray's rating is an 84.
That's it?
An 84. Jamal Murray.
Should be at 89.
So here's some people that have a 89 is exactly what I was thinking actually. Here's some people that have a higher rating than Jamal Murray in 2K. Miles Turner, Brooke Lopez, Julius Randle.
Julius Randle?
That's
a disgrace.
Evan Mobley, Klay Thompson have higher ratings.
What is Klay, 85?
I'm not sure. Have higher ratings.
Yeah, that's after a dude just averaged 26 in the playoffs. That's crazy.
How many points did he have straight in the fourth quarter against the Lakers?
He dropped 23 in the fourth. It's crazy. He should be at 89. or a 90 even. He should be at 90 even.
The only argument that his rating isn't high is health.
Yeah.
When he's on the court, he's that guy.
Especially just with his skill level. He's like, he can shoot the 3, he can shoot the 2. He's a good finisher, good dribbler, good passer. He can do everything well. So I don't know how that doesn't equate to like a 90 overall in 2K. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I actually can't believe that.
I can't believe LeBron. They put LeBron as a 97.
And I'm not trying to say he's a 93, but he should be over those guys. So upper 80s.
Yeah, he should be
upper 80s
to 91, I think. After that,
I put him like
playoff run.
88, 89.
After that playoff
He's right
run.
there. All right, moving over to the next one. So there's a meme going around with basically a phone like 3 feet long, and it has a text message the whole length of the phone. And it says, which NBA player are you defending like this? Obviously, as you guys know, if you guys watch the podcast, Cameron just went on a rant about it just a second ago. So it's LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron's your guy. If I had to defend an NBA player like that, and we talked about this earlier, I think you're right that it's got to be Jimmy Butler.
Well, I've talked about criticism with him, and you were pretty quick to defend him on this podcast.
I think Jimmy Butler. So, actually, I can roll with that. But, yeah, it's got to be defending Jimmy Butler. And for a couple reasons. Even just a couple years ago, I defended him when people said that he wasn't a good teammate, not a good leader on the Timberwolves, and then again on the Sixers. Just because he's a culture guy, and those teams don't have good cultures. You can see it because they don't win. And he immediately wins and takes the most, the most undrafted players to the finals in NBA history. So it doesn't matter who's on his team. He wins. He's a winner. That's what he does. And another thing about him is people say, well, look at his regular season numbers. You guys wanted to say that Kawhi was a top 2 player in the NBA after winning with the Raptors. Look at his, recently they're similar. I think Jimmy Butler played 55 games this year. Jimmy Butler, he low-key, what's it called? When you don't play a lot to stay healthy.
Sandbags?
No, not sandbags. When you don't play a lot of games on purpose. Yeah, load manage.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is one of the biggest load managers in the league. And I'll give you that. But people don't often make that argument. They just say that he isn't good in the regular season. But it's not true. He just load manages. Anyway, so yeah, he's one I would defend. The other one I defend, and this one might be tough, is it's got to be Derrick Rose. It's got to be Derrick Rose. Yeah. And the reason I say this is, to me and to the rest of Chicago, Derrick Rose is a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care that his career was cut short for the most part. He's a Hall of Famer. Because when you have an accomplishment like the youngest MVP in NBA history and you led a team like that Bulls team to over 60-plus wins when he was 20 years old, 21 years old, he's a Hall of Famer. And I know. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point. He
also won Rookie of the Year, too.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year followed by MVP over LeBron James.
Yeah, over LeBron on the Heat in his prime.
Yeah.
Even though that should have went to LeBron.
I don't care who he should have went to.
Whatever.
That's the whole point.
He still averaged 20.
I'm defending him.
But think about this, okay? So, if you look at his stats, they're good, but they're not overwhelming. But he averaged 25 when nobody averaged 25, especially at 6'2". Or
yeah, well, that's another thing is.
So, him averaging 25 was him now averaging 32.
Which I think they were the 2 seed or the 1 seed.
They were the 1 seed when he
right, so that's the other thing is.
And LeBron crushed him.
That was more so when you went to that one. It catered towards the best team in the league.
Right. It had
a 20-year-old Derrick Rose made that Bulls team the best team in the league. That's a huge accomplishment.
The MVP was voted on so much better than it was just best player on best team. And that's now I feel like the criteria is just whatever it wants to be for that year. I think it needs to be a combination between best player on best team and then what would happen to that team if you took that player off. That should be the MVP criteria, in my opinion. So, when you had a year,
I agree to this extent. I think they still need to be a top 3 seed.
That's what I'm saying.
I
said it needs to be a combination of that. A best player, best team, and then what would that team look like if you took that player off?
So, this year, would you have still given it to Joel Embiid then? Or would it be Jokic?
Probably, yeah. Joel Embiid. Because they were top 3 seed.
They were the 3rd seed.
Yeah, they were top 3 seed, and if you take Joel Embiid off, they're probably not even in the playoffs or play-in, or they're probably in the play-in, but I don't know.
Similar with the Nuggets, though, right?
Yeah, Nuggets would have been like
Because the Nuggets were freaking, 30-0, and he had a triple-double for the regular season?
Yeah. Jokic is probably a little bit. I don't know who's more valuable.
That's a tough one.
Jokic probably a little bit more, just because he does everything so well and for their team. Joel Embiid needs to get better at making people better, because he doesn't right now. Jokic makes people.
I don't know if Joel Embiid has the play style to elevate teammates.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Because that's another thing that's similar to Shaq.
That's why he needs. But
Shaq needs a
That's
Kobe.
the cool thing about Jokic. That's the cool thing about Jokic. He doesn't need a guard like that.
Does he?
Jamal Murray is not on his level as
But
far as player.
I know, but
Joel Embiid needs a Dame Lillard who's on his level. Like, if you took the top 10 best players, Damian Lillard is right in the same tier as Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid needs that. But because Jokic can do everything so well in the basketball court and he makes people better, he doesn't need a point guard that's a Hall of Famer like Kobe or Dame Lillard's going to be a Hall of Famer. He doesn't need that type of point guard. He can get someone like Jamal Murray who's just like a borderline all-star and sometimes elevates more to win titles, which I don't know if we've ever seen that from a big man. Like, think about it like this. Kareem had Oscar Robertson, who's arguably one of the best players ever, easily a top 3 point guard ever. And then he had Magic, who's the greatest point guard ever. That's what he needed to win championships. Jokic just won a chip being the 7-foot big man with Jamal Murray. That's pretty crazy.
Playoff Jamal Murray was different. He was a top 5 point guard in the league. Easily.
Yeah. But I'm just
Maybe top
saying,
3.
he's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah. No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
But maybe we'll look back and then he'll be a Hall of Famer. We're like, yeah, he had one. But still, like, I would say Kobe was better. I would say definitely.
I'll put it this way.
Kobe was better.
Give Joel Embiid playoff Jamal Murray. They beat the Celtics. Switch Harden. Switch Harden out for playoff Jamal Murray. They beat the Celtics.
Harden won them 2 games basically by himself. The reason why they lost that series was because Joel Embiid did not show up.
No.
He didn't have
watched
a good
Game
series.
7.
He did
No.
not have a good series.
I watched Game 6 and Game 7. Game 6, you didn't watch because you had to work. Game 6, James Harden could not get Joel Embiid the ball to save his life. He kept driving and getting turnovers. He probably had 8.
That's what I'm saying. That's
James Harden's fault.
I know, but I'm saying that's why, because with Joel Embiid's play style, he needs someone that's going to be super elite.
I agree.
And Joker
that's why
doesn't need that.
That's why I'm saying switch James Harden and Jamal Murray, and they beat the Celtics.
But the Nuggets still probably win the championship, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
but that's not what I was. That's not what I was.
I don't know if they beat the Celtics. I don't know. But
I think so. I mean, they might not win Game 1 when Harden dropped 40, whatever.
If the Celtics win Game 1, they probably win that series in like 5.
Joel Embiid needs to load manage and not worry about MVPs.
Yeah, he got his one, so he'll probably chill out.
You're right, though. Most big men, like Shaq needs Kobe, and he needs a Dwayne Wade to win.
Yeah,
he does. Joel Embiid needs that type of guy, and it's not a knock on Joel Embiid's greatness. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
The only person so far that hasn't needed that is Giannis and Jokic.
But
That's
Giannis is more of a wing guy.
Right, and Giannis can play more of the wing, and Jokic is a unicorn.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, Jokic elevates other people,
Right.
and Embiid doesn't.
Right.
Yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm with
Joker is the catalyst. Someone needs to be the catalyst for Embiid to flourish.
Yeah. And either Tyrese Maxey becomes that guy, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know
you
if
trade
can
for
wait
that guy.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. Like, they got to trade Tyrese Maxey and get Dame Lillard, because to me, you can't wait for Tyrese Maxey to emerge, because Joel Embiid's window is this short because of how injury prone he is and how big he is. To me, you got 2 years to really try to win a chip, and you go out and get Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
Then you trade James Harden and get more depth. Then you're looking like the best. Then I'm saying you're the favorite. You trade James Harden to the Clippers and you get Norman Powell, who's so slept on. He is such a beast. If you watch him in the playoffs, he dropped like 40 in game.
Yeah, you're
4.
talking about when
that dude's a beast. You trade him to the Clippers and get some depth, and then you trade Maxey and what's his name? The guy who's on an expiring contract.
Oh, Tobias Harris?
Yeah. You trade him and get Dame, bro. You're the favorite in the East now.
Who's got the smoothest game? Kobe Bean Bryant, Paul George, Carmelo, Kyrie Irving.
Definitely Kyrie won. I would say that.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely Kyrie won. Have you ever watched him play? All he's built on is smooth. He's 6'3". He can't be anything else.
No, give me Paul George 1. Give me Paul George
Paul
1.
George 2,
Paul George
then
glides
Kobe
down
3.
the court. He's smooth.
Yeah, he's super smooth. But I'd go Kobe 3 because Kobe was more rough around the edges.
I'll go Kyrie 2, Kobe 3. Carmelo. Yeah. Carmelo's really straight to it.
Kobe also got a ton of rim pressure. Paul George isn't really like that. Prime Paul George on the Pacers got a lot of rim pressure, but not
Even
now.
2019 Paul George.
He's more of a shooter. He more
2019
plays
Paul
outside the
George
paint.
might be this one. Actually, 2019 Paul George might be the smoothest player ever.
He was third in MVP that year.
Give me Paul George 1 for sure.
Over Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie's the smoothest
You're
finisher.
Actually insane.
He's the smoothest finisher.
You are insane.
He's the smoothest
Paul
finisher.
George over
He's the
Kyrie.
smoothest finisher.
Okay.
Not the smoothest player.
He's
Smoothest player overall is Paul George.
Not even close. It's
He
Kyrie.
looks like he's floating angelically down the
Have
court.
you ever seen Kyrie dribble a basketball, shoot a basketball, and finish?
He is the smoothest finisher.
No, he's a
You just
smoothest.
said-
He's a better dribbler than Paul George. He's a smoother.
No.
Yes. He's the smoothest player in the NBA by far.
Let us know in the comments who you think the smoothest player in NBA history is. That's all for us today at Good Point Bro Podcast. Check us out on Instagram at goodpointbro, on TikTok at goodpoint.bro, on Threads at goodpointbro, and as you guys know, on YouTube at the Good Point Bro Podcast. If you guys want to support the podcast, please go ahead and download our app, link in bio, Stadium Live. Check that one out. Besides that, we'll see you in episode 6-9. Nice. And that's all for us today. Cool.
Peace.
See you guys.
See ya.